Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honor to the apostles, the bishops, the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, mercy, and safety to all of the Akim on the highways and byways, preaching the word in sincerity and in truth, and a healthy shalom to the elect. My name is Rawai, and I'm back with another quick lesson through the Spirit. Lord willing, it is edifying. All right, you see your man, your man on the screen. Your man, Fauci. First, I just want to say that this is not medical information. This is not medical information. Got to be careful. I see as my channel grows, they starting to clip shit and all kind of shit. So we can't wait till this shit is shut down anyway. But anyway, this is not medical information. So, your man, Dr. Fauci, all right, pleads the fifth 111 times and declined to testify at a Senate hearing. He's accused of misleading the public about the C1 Nizam. All right, duh. He's accused of misleading the public. You damn straight he is, right? And again, the water Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai for our apostles of Great Millstone, the bishops, and the elders. Okay, the water, a true, sincere, the water Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right, for those men, for standing on spiritual business and letting the flock know, the believers know, don't you dare take the juicy juice, okay? And man, oh man, we thank Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, and we thank our apostles, bishops, and elder brothers, all right, for their diligence and for their fervent spirit when it came to when the world shut down. Okay, I'm gonna be careful with what I'm saying because E's gonna be all over these types of videos. Y'all brothers know that, all right? But here's your man, all right? This dude, now mind you, I'm very cognizant of these hearings because a lot of people, they sit in front of these and they get cooked. They be sitting there looking cooked. But, you know, we're looking at the devil, okay, the so-called white man. All right, we're watching his empire, his system. We're watching it crumble. We're watching this nation fall, and we're watching all of the traps and snares that he's placed at the feet of the people in the world, mainly the Israelites. We're watching it fall and being taken down. This is another classic case of Egyptian against Egyptian. I may get that later. But let's go, man. Let's read a little bit of this. Dr. Anthony Fauci invoked the Fifth Amendment 111 times and refused to answer any questions during Wednesday's Senate hearing about the C-19's origins and the government response. This is truly a sight to see, man. Brothers, if you get a chance, I mean, you'll probably turn it off, but he didn't answer absolutely anything. He invoked that 111 times, so meaning there was over 100 inquiries, and he pleaded the fifth. It's a sight to see, man. And again, when we do these lessons, man, we truly, every lesson that brothers do, that I know that I do, it's to feed the sheep, right? To reach the elect. But the goal is also we are ushering the return of Yahweh Shai, and we are prophesying the fall of this kingdom. Every lesson, no matter what topic it is, I want to and I might start to say that and remind the viewers or whoever comes across the lessons. I might make that statement during every lesson moving forward. We'll see how the spirit lands. All right, but let me get a precept real quick, because the C-19, when the world shut down, we all were there. We all were a part of it. We all had to deal with the social distancing. We all had to deal with, all of the nuances that came with it. Okay. Many people lost their jobs because they denied the juicy juice, the stabby stab, right? The jabby jab. All right. A lot of people lost their jobs, man. And also a lot of people, they they took the stabby stab because what did they say? Well, um, I gotta work, bro. I don't want to take it, but I gotta take it, right? Quick sidebar: you had other wicked congregations and false prophets telling their followers and their congregation to take it, to take the stabby stab. What you see, the face of it is in a hot seat right now. He's not answering no questions. Okay. So the title of this lesson, I don't know what I'll title it, something to the effect of it was all cap. This man was no doctor in the first place. Okay. He wasn't fit to lead the country. And more important and bigger than that, the world on his direction, right? And he can't sit in front of you 6 years later and say anything about it because it was all lies. This is Job 13:4. That's the spirit. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. Okay? This Fauci cat and the government, they're forgers of lies. Okay? He's what you would call a physician, right? Scriptures say he's a physician of no value. Okay? Let's get the word for forgery, because forger is a term going into forgery. All right? The word forgery means forgery is the crime or act of falsely making, changing, or imitating a document, signature, or object with the clear intent to trick someone and commit fraud. Forgery. I got to get this. I can't just read this. What do I want to do? Okay, let me go here. Let me see. Let me go here. All right. Let me look this up. I want to put this on the screen. All right. Forgery definition. We just read the precept. Job 13:4 again. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. These devils on this planet, all across this planet Earth, okay, physicians of no value. They give you poison. I want to be careful, man, with what I'm saying. I don't want them to flag this video. The whole health system, again, this is not medical advice. This is just my opinion. I'll just say that, all right? This health system is not there to heal you. It's there to keep you sick because it's a billion upon billion upon $billion industry, all right? The word forgery. Forgery is the crime. A crime off the rip. It's a crime off the rip. Forgery is the crime or act of falsely making, changing, or imitating a document signature. Document, Slakia, signature, or object with the clear intent to trick someone and commit a fraud. Okay? Man, listen. Intent to defraud. Planning to use the fake item to cheat another person. We all know about forgery, right? But this is beautiful. Let me see if I can get let me see if they have forger in here, because it's pretty much the same thing. But I just want to because the word is really, there you go, forger. All right. A forger is a person who makes fake copies to trick people. A person who signs a false name, or a worker who heats and shapes metal. Okay. Job 13:4 again. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. Mr. Fauci, because I'm not calling this damn devil doctor no more. Mr. Fauci, his cronies, Bill Gates of hell, and the rest of them, the hundreds of thousands of them, the doctors that treat us, that treat our children, They are physicians of no value. They went to school. They learned from a book how to keep you niggas sick, man. All right? And here's your man in front of in front of his people, all right, 6 years later, all right, pleading the fifth, not answering no questions about what he did, the lies, the forgery, the deceit behind him pushing the stabby stab. This is, wow, call hello Yahweh Shema Shah for bringing these fucking devils down, man. All right, let me play a few of these videos. This is, Lord willing, this is quick. All right. Let's read this real quick. Fauci, I'll just say it, confesses he made up C19 rules, including the social distancing. Y'all remember it? This was only a few years ago. All right. Look how fast 6 years went. That's another sign that we're at the end. All right. Remember 6 feet social distancing? We couldn't go in the stores. We had to stand 6 feet away. It was all bullshit. Okay? Fauci confesses he made up COVID rules, including 6 feet social distancing and masking kids. Look at this devil, man. Call hello Yahweh Shema Shah. These devils are through. And we're happy. We're very happy. All right, we're happy these devils are through. Let me play a few of these because they digging into this cracker jack's ass. All right. Let me play.
Well, nothing says honesty like taking the fifth, huh, Doc? Let's try something. What day of the week is it today?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color tie are you wearing?
Chewed him up. This nigga ain't answering nothing. He ain't answer what the day is. He ain't answer what color tie. This is the devil, man. All right? And his counterparts are chewing his ass up. All right?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color's the carpet in front of you?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Let's just get one thing straight. You don't have any rights under the Fifth Amendment because you've been pardoned, as you very well know. As the Supreme Court has been clear for a century and more, Brown versus Walker, 1896, when he has been pardoned, he may not stand upon his privilege. You know that. Your lawyers sitting behind you now shifting nervously in their chairs. They know it. This isn't about the Constitution. This isn't about the law. This is about contempt. Contempt for this body and contempt for the American people. But I think I know why you're doing it. It's because you don't want to answer questions. It's because you did all kinds of terrible things. It's because during the pandemic, you got rich, didn't you? You got rich while people were dying, hundreds of thousands of Americans, over 1 million in the end, and you were getting rich. And not only were you doing that, you were using federal employees with taxpayer money to apply for and solicit cash prizes for you personally. Cash prizes totaling over $1 million. You did all of that during the pandemic, didn't you? That's a question.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth.
Yo, man.
Well, nothing says honesty like taking the fifth, huh, Doc?
Man, listen.
Let's try something. What day of the week is it today?
On the advice of counsel.
This is the devil, man. The so-called white man is the fucking devil. All right? He just got his ass chewed out. Now, you could imagine how hot that seat he was sitting in. Because as much as Fauci, he probably don't give a fuck because he got rich, he got pardoned, whatever. To be in front of the nation at a council, that seat is still hot, right? The people behind him, they're jittery. He's probably sweating, right? This type of interrogation, I don't give a fuck what you say. It's hot. It's hot in there, right? But again, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, we just want to continue to expose Esau Edom for who he is. And that's the devil. Okay. And he invoked his Fifth Amendment 111 times. That has to be a record. All right. We've never seen nothing like this. All right. This is absolutely wild. But again, to those of you who got that stabby stab in you, all right. A lot of people have kicked the bucket, passed away, all right, behind taking that stabby stab, which they chalked it up to it being something else, right? But we know that stabby stab has put a lot of people down. There's people literally dropping dead now, like, and they have been for 5 years, okay? Millions of people took that juice. People are sick. People's lives are not the same. People are dropping dead, and then they're saying it's for other reasons, right? And that stabby stab is floating in the bodies of millions upon millions of people. Okay? And, we're hearing about nanoparticles in people's bodies. We're hearing that stabby stab is getting people ready to receive the mark, which is prophesied in Revelation, which we're always going to prove through the Spirit and scream from the mountaintops. Okay? That in Revelation 13 is speaking about the digital implant. Okay? The RFI to the D, micro C hip. All right? Okay, that juicy juice could be in millions and billions of people's bodies right now as they prepare to roll out the mass implementation of the chip, which it will happen in our lifetimes. Soon, we hope soon. All right, Ecclesiastes 12:10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. How many people trusted Fauci? How many motherfucking people trusted this lying red devil? Billions of people. That's who. Billions. Because not only in Babylon the Great, see Babylon the Great sets the standard. All right? You know how many nations followed this lead with social distancing and all of this shit? Okay? Billions of people trusted their enemy. They trusted the devil. They trusted Fauci. We all have our personal testimonies about the stabby stab, how we were faced with being unemployed. Some brothers did get unemployed. They had to walk away, right? That shit, some brothers probably ain't recover from that shit, man. Right. But, I hate that for brothers who didn't have a way out. But the Lord still made a way for us all, man. All right. We all have our testimonies of what happened when we was faced with that paper and them emails came through. You got to get this juicy juice in order to continue to work here. I got the email. All right. I got the email. All right. And the Lord came through, man, for me and my family, because we all were about to quit. I think I was a week or two away. Okay. Family members, a week or two away. We was leaving. We was leaving our jobs 100%. It was a tough decision, but I was already a believer at the time. And I was listening to our apostles, bishops and elders of Great Millstone. All right. I was listening to my brothers, man. All right. Okay. The elders, bishops, I was listening to those men. I was listening to our spiritual fathers when they was telling us no, no, no. And through the Spirit, the Wadi Hawashim Al-Shai, I already wasn't taking it any goddamn way. Right? Because I was already immersed in the truth to the best of my ability, right? Not like I am now, but I had enough sense, spiritual sense, all right, to walk away from that shit. And I did, and the Lord came through for me and my family. Ecclesiastes 12:10 again. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, okay? These fucking devils, man. All right? 2 of my family members passed away from this shit, man. My aunt and my uncle, man, who I love dearly. My aunt and my uncle, my father's brother and sister. They passed away from this shit, man. They got COVID and they passed away, bro. Right? They got on ventilators and they never got off them. And I think the ventilators was unaliving people, but that's just my own thought. I'm almost sure it was. I was mad as hell when they told me my uncle was on a fucking ventilator. I said, who put him on a fucking ventilator, man? And he never came home. Lord sent him back to the spirit world, bro. This nigga's a fucking devil, man. Hey, we know it's all the will of the Lord, but you know. And then my aunt passed, maybe what, a year later? My uncle fucked up story, man. My uncle, he just came home from like a 30 piece, right? Falsely accused of some shit, came home, and so I ain't trying to go off, bro, but real quick, when my uncle came home, he was the closest thing I had to my pops. My pops was murdered when he was 30 years old. He was a baby. And so my uncle, he was the closest thing I had to my father. So when he came home, I promise you, brothers, not, or you, whoever listening, you sisters, I promise you, it's like I have my pops back. You know what I'm saying? That was my father's brother. Like that was like, he looked like him. He reminded me of him. He was the closest thing I had to my pops. And when he came home, he was only home for what, 2 years? 2.5 years? COVID hit. He was out of there. That shit was fucked up, bro. You know what I'm saying? But again, not to veer. And then my aunt, who I was super close with. Yeah, I was super close with my aunt, bro. And this is the spirit. I gotta say it, man, because I never shared this. Before she passed, me and her, that was my aunt. We see her at all the functions, the family barbecues, whatever. We were close. But before she passed, she came and had a long 2-hour conversation with me. I've never had a long conversation with her like this. Maybe like a week or 2, 3 weeks before she passed away, she came to my office and we had a conversation. We were just talking about family stuff, about some of the stuff she wasn't happy about, just her brothers and sisters, their shit. And we were talking. It was almost a 2-hour conversation I had with her. And the Lord gave me that before he sent her back to the spirit world from COVID. But I just wanted to share that because that spirit just came, right? But anyway, they all right now, man. They all right. But again, Ecclesiastes 12:11, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. Okay, so this devil, Fauci with his smooth words, yeah, man, he's on the news every day. Take the jab, man, it's all good. And we're gonna give you niggas fries and $100. That's what they was doing. Y'all seen it? All right, yeah, it's all good, man. Don't worry about it. You ain't gotta worry about it. You're gonna be cleared. Bro, niggas was taking the jab and still catching the C1 Nizam, bro. Getting cooked by that shit. All right? Anyway, let me play another one. Forger of lies, man. A goddamn devil, bro. Let me play this one. They're cooking Fauci.
Sell them all. Run for office. Run for the United States Senate. Here I am sitting in front of you 6 years later saying, who the fuck do you think you were for doing that? It is a total disgrace what you did to this country. And if my Democrat colleagues are standing there defending you, I hope the voters of the United States of America watch the clips of every one of you doting on a guy who was more interested in being a celebrity than saving American people. Sell them all. Run for office. Run for the United States Senate. Here I am sitting in front of you 6 years later saying, who the fuck do you think you were for doing that?
Yo.
It is a total
funny,
disgrace what what you did to this country. And if my Democrat colleagues are standing there defending you, I hope the voters of the United States of America watch the clips of every one of you doting on a guy who was more interested in being a celebrity than saving American people.
Bro, you remember that shit, bro? This nigga was on all of the talk shows. He was on some celebrity shit, bro. Esau digging into his ass right now. Let me just read that real quick. Isaiah 19:2. And I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian. So you seeing another Edomite, cook another Edomite live in front of a hearing. All right, live and direct. Okay. It says, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And this is prophecy. This will happen on a larger scale, okay, especially concerning these wars. But there's a lot of infighting, man, and you're witnessing some of it right now. Okay, Esau going against Esau. That's what it means. I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptians, okay? And they shall fight everyone against his brother, all right? So that's what we're looking at right now on the screen. Moreno said to Fauci, who the fuck do you think you were? Cooking them, all right? That's what you're witnessing right now, man, okay? The Wadi Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right? Let me get another. Let me get this one. Oh, this is the last one.
Let's just get one thing straight. You don't have any rights under the Fifth Amendment because you've been pardoned, as you very well know. As the Supreme Court has been clear for a century and more, Brown versus Walker, 1896, when he has been pardoned, he may not stand upon his privilege. You know that. Your lawyers sitting behind you now shifting nervously in their chairs. They know it. This isn't about the Constitution. This isn't about the law. This is about contempt. Contempt for this body and contempt for the American people. But I think I know why you're doing it. It's because you don't want to answer questions. It's because you did all kinds of terrible things. It's because during the pandemic, you got rich, didn't you?
Cooking.
You got rich while people were dying, hundreds of thousands of Americans, over 1 million in the end, and you were getting rich. And not only were you doing that, you were using federal employees with taxpayer money to apply for and solicit cash prizes for you personally. Cash prizes totaling over $1 million. You did all of that during the pandemic, didn't you? That's a question.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
You remember Greg Folkers? Who was that?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Your chief of staff is the answer. Do you remember Patricia Conrad? Who was that?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
She was your personal assistant. And what were these individuals doing in the depth of the pandemic in November of 2020 when millions of Americans were suffering from COVID? What were they doing? I tell you what they're doing. Folkers was on your behalf soliciting and gathering information for a cash award. Let's look at it. We've got his email right here, right over my shoulder.
Damn.
Volker says, I'm working on this nomination for the Dan David Award for Fauci. We need to beef up the COVID part. Do you have language in the can that you could share that delineates how we responded in new ways to COVID? He sends this to multiple federal employees. What was the Dan David Award? Do you remember, Doc?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
It was a $900,000 cash award. $900,000 cash award. And he got it because he used federal employees to get it. And this wasn't the only award, was it, Dr. Fauci? In fact, you applied for and received at least 8 other federal cash prizes on federal time using federal employees and federal resources. Here they are over my shoulder. Besides the Dan David Award, you've got the Partnership for Public Service. You've got the Adelson Prize. You've got the Smithsonian Award. You've got the National Academy of Medicine's Award. You got this.
Bro, they cooked him. But you're watching the ways and actions of Esau Edom. I just want to drop it, just bring this home, okay? You're watching how there's no accountability. There's no consequences. The scriptures go into that. How they hold themselves not guilty. Okay? These devils are sick, man. And it's all for money. Okay? Prestige in their demonic world. All right? Because he got pardoned. Ain't nothing happened to him. Ain't nothing millions of people passed from C19. He lied. Everything came. It's all out that he lied, that it was cap. All right? And nothing happened to him. He's rich. He's sitting up somewhere rich. His lawyers say, we got to go to this hearing. This is what he does in the hearing. He's back home today with his money. He's all right. Safe. All right? But it's okay. It's okay. Because this is another sign that we're at the end, and Esau Edom is being taken down. Okay? Let me read this real quick. I'll close out. Let me get Psalms 55 and 21. And it reads, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. Y'all remember Fauci? Remember this guy? Okay? The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. This is the face right here that I remember. This face here. Let me see if I could. Oh, it's not staying. But not this one with his hand up. This nigga here. That's the face we all remember. Okay? He was on TV every day. Okay? The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Okay? Death was in his heart. Him getting rich, deceit, lies, forgery. Okay? The forger of lies. That's what was in his heart. Okay? And it all came out 6 years later. Okay? That it was all cap. It was all BS. All right? So that's it, man. Esau's kingdom is crumbling. The Egyptian is against the Egyptian right now. That will happen on a larger scale, okay? But we're witnessing it. The Wadi Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai again for our apostles, bishops, and elder brothers, all right? For the believers, for all of the teachers, man, with the right doctrine under the men of great millstone. The Wadi Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. This place is falling, it's crumbling. Esau's the devil. All you dumbass niggas followed Esau. You believed him. You're sick, you're dying, it's all fucked up. My people are dying, people I love died. This shit is all fucked up, man. We want to get out of here, but we're at the end. Call halal, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. If you get anything from this lesson, please know and understand the name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh. The name of his only begotten Son is Yahweh Shai. Those are the names you call on now and in that dreadful day. Shalom.